Welcome back to the PAC Sports Network for our halftime show as we're at the break between Saint Vincent and Grove City. And we're now joined by Saint Vincent men's basketball graduate student, Osyon Jones. Osyon, first off, thanks so much for taking a little time today and joining us during the halftime show. I know your team's been rolling as of late and really this entire season and really been able to bounce back since the loss a few weeks ago to Westminster. What's been the biggest improvement since that loss to the Titans?
I think that loss shook us in the right way and it allowed us to refocus. The package is really close through and through, so can't take any days off. And that loss, I guess, just refocused our team, and we're able to take every game one game at a time.
Well, you certainly have been able to bounce back after that loss to the Titans, and we'll get into a little bit more about this season as we go along. But I want to start at the very beginning and just what led you initially to Saint Vincent. What was it about the program, the school, that ultimately drew you there?
Yeah, so I actually got recruited at a D-Up camp at St. Thomas when Coach Harris was down there, and I took my visit, and all the people were super welcoming here, and I was intrigued by the amount of pros this program has had and some of the academic stuff. Like, business program here is really good, so I'm very happy with my choice.
Well, your first year, you made an immediate impact, but it was an interesting season with it being kind of overshadowed by COVID and the pandemic. How was it adjusting to college life, being a student athlete, and then also dealing with a global pandemic on top of it?
Yeah, I mean, it was really hard, but you just kind of make the most of it where you can. A shortened season, longer breaks. You can't really go out and have as much fun as you usually would as a freshman, but it was tough. It was definitely tough adjusting, but I was grateful to have some of my teammates here to help me through that.
Well, you were able to definitely make an adjustment onto the basketball court, and eventually, a couple years later, you get a little bit of a new head coach. Not a new head coach for St. Vincent basketball, but for you, DP Harris becomes your head coach then. What was that like, getting adjusted to having a totally different head coach, especially when you got used to one through the first two seasons?
Yeah, I mean, it's always hard to get a new coach, and DP is a very specific man, and so I'm glad he was able to coach me in a way that was able to allow me to produce for him on the court. And adjusting to that took some time, but I think about halfway through that first season that I spent with him, I got back to rolling, got back to where I was. I felt really comfortable playing with him and his staff. So.
Well, then last year you had a ginormous season, averaged almost 15 points per game, and guided your team to a PAC championship game. Where did you feel your team, or where did you feel your game really kind of took a step and you saw the most growth on the basketball court in yourself?
Yeah, I think I just got really comfortable in my role, and I became like a glue guy for our team, and I just knew I had to do certain things that some guys either couldn't do or weren't willing to do. And at the end of the day, that's what it takes, right? Everybody just has to do their job, and I just tried to do my job as best as I could.
Well, you've certainly been able to do that and some. It's obviously also led into this season and the strong year you guys are having. And Osyon, before we get you out of here, I'm curious to hear from you with the tournament right around the corner, which hard to believe that we're almost to that point of the season. What do you think it'll take for your team to get back to another PAC championship game and accomplish capturing another title?
Yeah, I think we have a really good team this year. I think what's most important is we just don't take anything for granted, right? So, like I said before, just one game at a time, and I think we'll be all right.
Well, certainly excited to see how the rest of the season unfolds for you and St. Vincent. Osyon, again, thanks so much for stopping by, and good luck the rest of the season.
Yep, thank you.
That's St. Vincent men's basketball grad student Osyon Jones. Don't go anywhere, as we'll have Grove City's Mike Christensen join us on the halftime show coming up next on the PAC Sports Network.